Hello, my name is Andrew, and today we're talking about the pros and the cons of the Vivobarefoot Sensus versus the grounded version in cracked leather. So in terms of the toe box, both shoes are wide and squared off at the front and the side, which is great. Although because of the lower sole profile, the Sensus tends to run a little bit short, but I was able to go with my normal size in both versions, which is the US 10 or EU 43. And for reference, my feet are 10.5 inches or 26.67 centimeters. And even though the Sensus is a bit more snug, the leather has some nice stretch to it, and it tends to conform to the shape of your foot the more you wear it. But in terms of the upper, the cracked leather version is a little bit better for hot weather because all these tiny micro cuts translate a bit more airflow. And while the original does have some perforation up front, it's mostly closed off, which gives it better performance on cooler days, as well as improved water resistance, especially if you treat it with beeswax. Inside, both shoes have a full leather and suede lining, which is super soft and allows the Sensus to wrap around your foot like a baseball glove, making it the best barefoot shoe I've ever tried for wearing without socks because the suede is thin and non-toxic, and there's just nothing anywhere on the Sensus that rubs your skin. That said, the grounding version does have some conductive thread here, and you can feel it on the bottom of your foot, but it's super thin and I didn't really notice it walking around. That said, the outsole of the Sensus also uses conductive materials, and while the science is still out on grounding, I have gotten a lot of comments from people over the years who've experienced benefits for joint pain or energy, and although I don't know if I can tell any difference between grounded and ungrounded footwear, I do notice some huge benefits from having a super thin flexible sole like the Sensus, because this is pretty much as close as you can get to being completely barefoot. And as someone who's been dealing with joint pain for the past 5 years, having a shoe that's super agile like the Sensus allows me to touch down and roll my foot much more softly, whether I'm out for a walk or a run or some light hiking. And if I had to go back to thick, clunky cushion shoes, I literally wouldn't even be able to walk anymore. So yeah, overall, if you're comparing the two versions of the Sensus, the original is a little bit better for cooler, wetter weather, and the cracked has a slight advantage for hotter, drier conditions. And you really can't go wrong with either one, because the combo of its ultra thin sole and soft, natural leather just make the Vivobarefoot Sensus one of the best barefoot shoes of all time. That said, if you'd like to support the channel, you can shop with the referral links down below, browse and filter more products with the shoe finder tool on my website barefootwear.org, or watch a zero drop transition video to learn more about barefooting. Finally, if you have a question about the Vivobarefoot Sensus or about barefoot shoes in general, let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time. Peace!